Meeting at the coffee shop. The love story that changed my life. I walked into a small, cozy cafe in the historic district of the city, seeking refuge from the rain and a hot cup of coffee to accompany my favorite book. I sat at a table near the window, where I could watch the raindrops fall on the cobblestone streets. The place had an air of nostalgia, with its dark wooden tables and antique-style chairs, and the aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled the air. I was absorbed in my reading when a tall man with dark hair walked into the cafe. He wore a long coat and a hat, which he removed upon entering. I noticed his presence when he approached the counter and ordered a coffee. Then, with his cup in hand, he made his way to my table. "May I sit here?" "It seems all the other tables are occupied," he said with a smile. I looked up from my book, surprised by the interruption. Our eyes met, and I felt an instant connection. "Of course, go ahead. You're looking for a warm place to escape the rain, right?" I replied, smiling shyly. "Yes, and it seems I've found the best place." "By the way, I'm Alejandro," he said, settling into the chair across from me. "Nice to meet you, Alejandro." "I'm Rosita," I responded, feeling a warmth in my chest. "What are you reading, Rosita?" he asked, curious. I showed him the book cover. It's a classic, 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. It's one of my favorite works. What a coincidence. I also love that book. Garcia Marquez has a unique way of capturing the magic of everyday life, he said, and the conversation flowed naturally. We talked about literature, music, and travel, discovering that we shared many interests and passions. The chemistry between us was undeniable, and the cafe's atmosphere was filled with laughter and knowing glances. After a while, Alejandro looked out the window and noticed that the rain had diminished. "It looks like the rain has stopped. Would you like to take a walk around the city? I know a place with a spectacular sunset view," he proposed. "I'd love to. That sounds like a wonderful idea," I responded enthusiastically. We got up from the table, and Alejandro offered his arm, which I took with a smile. We left the cafe and walked through the narrow cobblestone streets, enjoying the fresh breeze and each other's company. We arrived at a hill with a view of the entire city. The sun was beginning to set, painting the sky with orange and pink hues. "This is one of my favorite places. It's so peaceful and beautiful," Alejandro commented. "It's truly charming. Thank you for bringing me here," I responded, feeling an even deeper connection. Alejandro turned to me, taking my hands in his. "Rosita, from the moment I saw you in the cafe, I knew there was something special about you. I want to get to know you more, to share more moments like this with you," he confessed. I felt a warmth in my chest and a joy I couldn't hide. "Alejandro, I feel the same. This day has been magical, and I don't want it to end." Our gazes met once again, and at that moment, everything around us disappeared. We leaned in slowly, and our lips met in a soft kiss full of promises. Later, in the intimacy of a room lit only by the soft glow of a lamp, our bodies came together with contained urgency. Alejandro's fingers explored my skin gently, igniting every corner with deep desire. "You're so beautiful, Rosita. I want to make you feel things you've never experienced," Alejandro whispered. I shivered under his touch, my breathing quickening. My hands explored his body, tracing every muscle, every contour. "Alejandro, make me yours," I whispered with a sigh. The atmosphere was filled with palpable eroticism as our bodies joined in a dance of passion. I let myself be carried away by the sensations coursing through me, each caress and whisper fueling the fire inside. My eyes closed, and my breathing became a staccato rhythm, in sync with the accelerated beats of my heart. As the sensations grew in intensity, my body arched, seeking to merge even more deeply with the wave of pleasure enveloping me. My skin prickled under Alejandro's gentle touch, and a sigh escaped my lips, a prelude to the storm of ecstasy that was coming. The world around me faded, leaving only the intensity of the moment. My moans turned into a harmonious song, a melody of desire resonating in the room. Every muscle in my body tensed, reaching a climax where the entire universe seemed to pause for an eternal moment. And then, like a burst of stars in the night sky, the climax arrived. A torrent of pleasure swept through every fiber of my being, flooding me with a sensation of pure and profound joy. My body trembled in a dance of liberation, the moans becoming a chorus of absolute satisfaction. When the wave of pleasure finally receded, I was enveloped in an aura of tranquility and happiness. I opened my eyes slowly, and a smile of complicity lit up my face. In that moment of silence and peace, I knew I had touched the stars, that I had experienced a unique and sublime connection with Alejandro. Alejandro, this is just the beginning. I want to share many more moments like this with you, I said, caressing his face. And I with you, Rosita, he replied, smiling. We embraced, feeling the warmth of our bodies and the promise of a love that had just begun to bloom. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It will help us a lot. If you're looking for someone to spend time with, leave us your photo and a way to contact you. We'll include our email address in the description. And you, what's your story?